Hi everyone and welcome back to Brian's Horror Movies for Life YouTube channel. And welcome to this 1982 horror movie review video as part of my overall 1980s horror movie series. This is the last one for November as it's Black Friday and we're almost to December, so I'm wearing my black Evil Dead shirt here in celebration of Black Friday. Their idea of Black Friday might be different than mine. But anyway, the movie we're going to take a look at today is one that I don't have the physical media for, nor will I ever be getting the physical media for this movie. I had a feeling it wasn't too good from some of the comments and some of the reviews and things that I've heard, but I still wanted to check it out. I'm a completionist, and I'm doing the entire 1982 for as far as thrillers and horror movies. That movie is Trick or Treats. Not to be confused with Trick or Treat from 1986 with Ozzy Osbourne, or not to be confused with Trick or Treat from 2007, directed by Michael Dougherty. This is a separate movie. This is Trick or Treats with an S at the end. What do I want to say here? Not much. Let's just go ahead and get into my review for this movie. Trick or Treats is a 1982 American slasher dark comedy film written, shot, edited, and directed by Gary Graver, and starring Jacqueline Gouraud, Peter Jason, Chris Graver, David Carradine, Carrie Snodgrass, and Steve Railsback. Don't let all those big time names fool you. This movie sucks. Its plot focuses on an escaped psychiatric patient who attempts to track his young son on Halloween night. So we're introduced to Malcolm O'Keefe, who's surprised one morning at breakfast when two men arrive and bring him to a mental asylum so that his wife Joan will have him committed. After a brief struggle in the backyard pool, Malcolm is captured and taken away by the men in white. Several years later, Linda is called to babysit Joan's son Christopher on Halloween night, while Joan and her new husband Richard attend a Halloween party in Las Vegas, where they are performing as magicians. Christopher plays tricks on Linda, such as using a fake guillotine, throwing a smoke bomb at her, and using a joy buzzer. At the asylum, Malcolm contemplates his escape after having been there for nearly 4 years. Malcolm manages to escape with help from another inmate and vows to get revenge on those that put him away. After Linda calls her friend Andrea to bring film to her, Linda goes outside to look for Christopher. Malcolm enters the house in search of Joan and hides in the attic. Andrea enters the house and Malcolm fatally stabs her, mistaking her for Joan. Yes, so that's the beginning, the setup, the premise for Trick or Treats, the 1982 horror movie. As far as the cast goes, we have Jacqueline Gouraud as Linda, Peter Jason as Malcolm O'Keefe, Chris Graver as Christopher O'Keefe, David Carradine as Richard Adams, Carrie Snodgrass as Joan O'Keefe Adams, Steve Railsback as Brett, and Jillian Kesner as Andrea. So yeah, that's the setup, the premise, and the cast for this crappy horror movie from 1982. I gotta be honest, guys, I did not enjoy this movie one bit. If you love it or, you like it, I question your sanity. I really do. No, to each their own. But this is a movie that I don't have any interest of ever watching again. I'll just be straight up with you. But first, I'm going to talk about a couple of the things that I did like, and boy, was it tough to come up with this list. It does have some pretty good Halloween atmosphere. If you're looking for something to put on in the month of October or in the fall in preparation for Halloween in that time of the year, which was about a month ago you could, I'm not going to say you could do a lot worse because I'm not sure you could do a lot worse than this movie, but it does have some Halloween atmosphere with trick-or-treaters coming to the door, some Halloween lights and decor outside the house, etc. So it might be something that you want to put on and check out in the month of October in the fall. I don't think it's required. It's not. It's not required the same way that Halloween or Trick or Treat is. But it does have some Halloween atmosphere. The movie does have some pretty good, well-known actors in it, like Carrie Snodgrass, David Carradine especially, and Peter Jason. That might make it worth checking out for you. Unfortunately, they don't really give these actors anything to do, especially David Carradine, who basically has a cameo in the movie for like 3 to 5 minutes, I would say. Carrie Snodgrass, same way, maybe 10 or 12 minutes for her. But there are some bigger name actors, at least within the horror genre in that time, within this movie. So that might be worth checking out. The setting of the house is kind of cool, inside and especially outside, the look of it. It's got a pool in the backyard that's utilized throughout the movie. It looks interesting from the front of it at night. When you're, like from the outside, the front of the house at night when they show it. It's very big. This is a very well-to-do family. Well, I mean, Malcolm's not anymore. He's in an asylum, but his wife, his ex-wife, I guess now, who puts him in the asylum, and now she's got her new husband. They live in this house, and they're pretty well-to-do. It's like a rich area, I think. But anyway, yeah, those are the only pros that I could come up with, frankly, for the movie. If you have any more you can think of, please put them down below, because I couldn't. I just couldn't. So let's get into the cons now. And I would say the biggest one is, especially if you're somebody looking for an early 80s slasher movie, I would keep looking. Because this is not a slasher movie. It's a dark comedy, almost a spoof movie, I would say. They spoof a lot of these kind of movies. Maybe it's a slasher spoof, but not even a very good one of those. But it's definitely not a slasher movie. That's what I got out of it overall. There's hardly any kills on camera. There's certainly no blood or gore. There's no nudity. There's really nothing that you would associate it with slashers during this time. But overall, I mean, there's nothing slasher about this movie. So that's obviously that kind of, I know there's a lot of people that really like low budget, shot on video kind of slasher movies from this time. But this one's not even that. Like I said, it's not a slasher movie. It's a dark comedy slasher spoof. That's the best way I would describe it. Because they do kind of make fun of some of the tropes and some of the things going on, I would say. But they don't do a very good job of it. I found the character of Christopher to be one of the most annoying kid characters of all time. All this kid does is try to play tricks on his babysitter. That's what 80% of this movie is. And of course, his babysitter, Jacqueline Gurr, who plays Linda, she falls for every single one of them, even after he does like 6 or 7. And basically, she realizes she's been fooled. The very next one, she's screaming like it's real. Oh my God. Yeah, the main character of Linda, played by Jacqueline Gurrow. I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it Guru? Girous. She's not a good character. She's not a good actress. And I'm not talking about her character in the movie as being a good actress. She's not a good actress in this movie, especially to carry the movie as a main character. She's nice to look at, and I kept waiting for maybe her blouse will come off at some point. But you get a scene with her in the shower at the beginning, but there was never going to be any nudity in this movie, so you don't have to worry about seeing anything good there. She's a nice-looking woman who I think should have went into to veterinary medicine or something else than acting, because she's not a good actress. Like I said, this kid, Christopher, I wanted to strangle him about 4 or 5 minutes after he was introduced in the movie. They don't take much of anything seriously in this movie. As far as the tone goes, the comedy doesn't work for me at all. Very of that time kind of comedy, very over the top, and really just dumb. I mean, it's just that dumb, in-your-face kind of comedy that just has never done anything for me, especially from the early 80s. And so I can't even say I found it funny. And so you got no kills, no gore, no nudity, no real slashing as far as... There's a couple of chase scenes at the end of the movie, but even those aren't well done. There's nothing funny about it. You can't even laugh at this movie because it's so bad it's good. The end was incredibly anticlimactic, and you just kind of wanted it to end an hour before it did. If you want to call the very last shot of the movie a twist, you can. By that point, I really didn't care, and I was just excited that the movie was ending, if I'm being completely honest with you. I just didn't care about anything in this movie. Like I said, the movie's 90 minutes, and that was about 65 minutes too long for me, given what we got here. I mean, there's scenes where they cut away to this guy that Linda's dating, who's an actor, and all he does is sit at a table in front of a mirror and talk to her about her being tricked by this kid. They also cut to Andrea, her friend, and this other gal who was shooting a movie, and they spend like 5 or 10 minutes showing us this movie within a movie, which is no good either, by the way. There's nothing gory or interesting in that either. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Overall, I was constantly checking my phone and waiting for the movie to end. So I was bored out of my mind, quite honestly, with this movie. So yeah, that's Trick or Treats from 1982. I'm going to give this movie a 3.5 out of 10. And why am I giving it that much? Probably because of the Halloween atmosphere and the fact that Linda, the actress, did look pretty good. And I kept waiting for her to drop her top or something. Disappointed that didn't happen. But it also got to a certain point about an hour into the movie. I didn't even care if she did or not. But I think it's mostly the Halloween atmosphere that I'll give it a 3.5 for. But other than that, guys, I don't enjoy anything about this movie from the characters. It is interesting to have David Carradine in here and Carrie Snodgrass, but like I said, they're in the movie for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, respectively. There's no blood, no gore, no nudity, no kills, no slashing. Like I said, the chase scenes at the end of the movie are very drawn out in a very boring way. The music is cheesy and does nothing for me. But other than all those things, this is a wonderful experience. But yeah, 3.5 out of 10 for Trick or Treats. Again, not to be confused with Trick or Treat, the rock music, heavy metal Halloween type movie from 1986, or the Michael Dougherty anthology from 2007 or 2009, whatever it was. I don't want to lump that in with or lump this movie in with those. So that's why I'm saying that. But it's a shame that we're ending November on such a sour note, but that's the way it goes. We got 1 month left for 1982 horror movies, and I got some really good ones in there starting on Monday, so you're not going to want to miss that. I'm also going to be watching horror Christmas movies on my own in the background as well, on my not reviewing on my channel, because these are all movies that I've reviewed, but I'll make comments on them if I find anything interesting. But anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys are enjoying this 1982 horror movie review, part of the series, part of the overall 1980s horror series. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving and a good jump into the holiday season for those of you that celebrate it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And as always, stay scared. Bye.